hair like myself. So I'm going to be the guinea pig. What I've got is a combination of products that I really enjoy working with, especially for fine hair, not only on my own, but with my clients. And what I discover over the years is that we tend to have flyaway hair that needs a little bit of body, but not too much, put too much gel in it. It's too hard, it's too crispy. So through my years of experience, these are some of my favorite products and a few new ones too that I've discovered that I really enjoy. So I'm going to be telling you the products I'm working with. I'm going to be showing you how I blow dry my hair. And if it's anything, if your hair is anything like mine, it's already half dry by the time you get the product in. So I'm going to walk you through what I'm going to do, blow dry it, showing you through the process, and then do some finishing tips and tricks that I've learned over the years, and hopefully you can gain some insight from all this. So the first thing I'm going to use is some protein spray. This is the Paul Mitchell Super Strong, and what I love about it is it's really light for fine hair, but because our hair can get very damaged very quickly through tools, processing, just even, too much of a good thing when it comes to irons and blow dryers, it can really break down our hair very quickly. So what I really like about this product is that it's extremely easy to throw through the hair, a couple of squirts, very light, and has no hold. So while it does protect it and provide with keratin, which helps keep our hair strong, it helps with the bonds and doesn't interfere with the gel that I'd like to use, or the mousse, or the volumizer. So I'm going to choose two products today. I'll use one, but I want to show you two. So I have Lance's Healing Oil, and it's called Bounce Up Spray. I really like this because it's very lightweight and doesn't leave a grip when I'm blow drying it. So it doesn't, as it dries, it doesn't start getting hard. And the second one I want to use, or show you, I should say, I'm not going to use both at the same time. I'm going to show you, is Redken's new CCC spray. Now, what I really enjoy about this product line is it gives fine hair, like mine, that doesn't really have any curl in it, an enormous amount of bounce. And if I really want to just kind of have something that's really soft and full, a light spray gel such as this gives it a nice, firm, but pliable hold. So it's a little hot tip for us fine-haired girls that don't have curly products or curly hair. Sometimes the curly products really do work well for us. And the alternative that I wanted to use instead of the protein spray that was light was the new Extreme Play Safe 450 from Fahrenheit from Redken. The Extreme line is a fantastic product line because, again, it's keratin based, really helping to build up the strength and the suppleness in the hair. And again, it can get broken down very quickly by overheating it, overstressing it, and overprocessing. So while my hair might be a little bit delicate for this particular product, what I love about it is it is pump form. So for anybody who has got a more abundant amount of hair, you can put out the same amount every time and you're not going to overuse the product, which I absolutely love. Sometimes with spraying, we either don't use enough or we use too much. So I've just given myself a really tiny little pump because it is a cream base, but I have some pretty high processed hair with lots of highlights through my hair. So I love to just make sure it's in optimum condition and put a little bit through, especially since when we can get brushes in there, rollers afterwards, which I'd like to show you about, just for the volume placement and how we use the brushes to create that lift at the root, which gives us a bonus of day 2, which I know a lot of people don't like doing their hair every day. So hopefully some of the tips today that I show you can also give you day 2 hair, and it's not going to be completely flat. Okay, so we're gonna blow dry the hair. I know you're gonna want to put this on mute once the blow dryer gets started. So just watch some of the things that I'm going to be doing with my brushes. I'm going to be starting with a vent brush first to get the water out, and follow through with my round brushes. Now, it does depend what size you want for the amount of height you want. But we really want to keep in mind, we're trying to get lift at the root. We can shape the ends afterwards. So when we're going through to blow dry our hair, we want to start with a vent brush, exposing the root, bringing a lift. You'll watch me lift up the root and hold the blow dryer up against it to try to get the water not only evaporated and removed from that spot, but also keeping lift at the root from where the product was that I put on, I'm about to put on. And we're working at getting the hair 70% dry. We don't want to really go in with the round brushes too early so that it doesn't get caught, as well as you're not actually overheating the hair, which is a common mistake. If we don't start with a vent brush, we go in with the round brush, we're trying to get water out of the hair, we're holding the blow dryer on the hair shaft for a really long time, and it doesn't take long between that water evaporating on fine hair and overheating that hair, possibly damaging it. So no round brush to start, but to finish. So first of all, I'm going to go through, I'm going to start at the back. Reason being, 2 points. One, this is really exhausting. Getting our hands above our head and keeping our arms up for any extended period of time gets exhausting. 2, we want to build the more volume at the back of the crown. This is where we want most of the lift going on in the back. So I'm going to turn around to do the back first so you can see what I'm doing. And then I'm going to turn around again and I'm going to show you how I section off the different spaces of the hair to give you an understanding as to where we put the volume, how we put the brushes, and basically the blueprint of how I blow dry short hair. So that's how we start at the back. Now what I didn't show you was the fact that I put a little bit of the Lancet Bounce Up at the back, and I'm going to spray a little bit of the CCC spray on the top of my hair because I would prefer more volume on the top than at the back. But it's incredibly important that we get an even amount of weight and height and balance and curl and lift at the back. Okay? So we finished off with the round brush. Secondly, what I'm going to do is move through to the sides, the crown, and the front last. This is one of those things that I get questioned about a lot. I know a lot of people like to do the front first because they don't want to have any kinks, or if you have cowlicks, you want to make sure that you hit those first. And in that case, if you do have cowlicks, I would agree with you. I would probably work through that space just to break that bounce because you want to get in there before it starts to dry and really get its own shape. I'll do a blow dry video for that purpose another time. But just because we have fine hair today and I'm showing you how I'm approaching it, I want you to feel like you're following along with the amount of fine hair and a short hairstyle as well. So lifting up when you're spraying anything through your hair, I don't want you in too close. That's where you get an oversaturated amount. It's too isolated and that will make your hair sticky, even if it's a really light product. focus mostly through the top. I really don't want any lift or volume through the side of my head simply because my hair is short and I don't need the volume out this way. If you have longer hair, you want more lift through the hair by all means. Sometimes it's a matter of going around in a circle and then finishing up on the top if you've got shoulder length or longer hair. So the next phase we're going to go through is the side of the hair. I section it out of the way, working on the sides, not necessarily getting that brush right under, because as I do, I'm getting a lot of lift right in through the hair, kind of in a round space at the side of my head, and I'm not looking for that. I'm actually looking for my sides to be lower, smoother, more height concentration through the top. But I want to make sure I'm getting lift above the side of my head, the parietal ridge. I want to make sure that from there and up, we are getting a little bit of balance lift through to the top. Watch. Fine hair dries really quickly. So I am going to avoid putting the round brush anything lower than the round of my head. I don't want this area to have volume, like I said before. So now I'm going to continue working with my vent brush, starting at the back and working forward. 2 reasons. It's much easier to see what you're doing working from the back to the front as opposed to the front. Then you have to start trying to crawl to watch to see what you're doing. Secondly, this again is the highest point in and around the apex. So the very top of the head to the crown, we've already built our height on both of the corners of our crown, if you will, the corners at the sides of the head, so that you've got an even amount of height going around the top. And I'm going to just hang out in this crown apex area and to build the volume. Now, as you'll see, I'm folding the hair as I'm blow drying it. What this does, the vent brush, of course, is allowing the air from the blow dryer to blow through. It's evaporating the water, pushing it into the hair strand and dispersing the water molecule and finishing and drying it. And secondly, by folding the hair at the root, I'm exposing the root and raising it up and building more volume, so that the round brush goes in to actually finish and smooth out the hair shaft as opposed to build from the root up. So if you're blowing it around, especially for fine hair, you're going to lose all that lift that you're getting from your product. It doesn't have the ability to keep your hair up. You've got to be able to build it up, shape the hair with the brush, and the number one step to do that with is your vent brush. I'm keeping it on low heat and low air. I'm inching my way to the apex, going across the head to expose the root to get the volume up so that the product starts to shape into the hair to be able to hold it. I am not concerned about my part. In this particular hairstyle, I want lift at the root, and then at the very end I can show you how you can kind of move it to any point that you want. It's a much more current look than actually parting the hair and offsetting it to the one side, which doesn't always balance with your features and can sometimes make your style go from fresh and cute and current and trendy to more of a structured, traditional shape, especially with short hair. So if you're looking to keep it really fresh and youthful, watch my tips. Okay, so I've gone pretty much to the point where I'm at the apex. I've got a little bit of heat in my hair. It's pretty much dry. I'm gonna follow through with my bigger vent brush for two reasons. One, I want the amount of root lift to go around this height, dimension, I should say. So the diameter on this brush is probably about an inch. That's at least an inch and a half, if not 2 inches. What I want to do is make sure that I've got the brush right down at the root. It's lifting up that and exposing that root section and giving it full lifting power, finishing off the hold from this spray, the styling spray that I put into my hair. Again, I'm going to go back and forth exactly like I did with the vent brush. Get some of the hair out of the way.